hands are together, the front one turns down and the back one turns up. That locks the staff in that thrust, forcing it through their body. And if you hit something hard, like somebody who's chasing or running after you, or a big 70-pound dog leaping in the air, that's not gonna knock you back. It might push you a little bit, your knees will absorb it, and you're gonna knock whatever's coming at you out of the air. In this martial arts class, you'll learn the fundamental of self-defense using a walking stick or a martial arts staff. Grab your staff or your stick and follow me. I'll be using the Japanese bow, which is a little bit taller than I am. You can also use the Jo, which is coming here, or even a shorter stick. Any size walking stick will do. First fundamental of self-defense using a staff or a walking stick is that you're always gonna keep the stick between yourself and the threat. Now you do that in a very natural way. You're walking with it anyway. You place it on the ground and you walk to it. Notice that my elbow is bent in a very natural position here. The second fundamental of self-defense is you're gonna use the distance or the length of the staff to create some space between you and the other person, or you, maybe in this case, the threat could be a dog. So between you and the threat, you point your thumb in the direction of the threat, and as you point it forward, that turns the wrist, the back of the hand is holding the staff, it brings it right up into the other hand. So let's say it's a dog, maybe somebody's pit bull they haven't taken care of, and now they're out trying to hurt somebody. You simply point it in the direction of the dog. Now look at all that length between you and that vicious dog. Or maybe it's a person on the trail or walking down the street. Same thing. Now they've got to go around or through your stick. And if they grab it, that's okay. We've got a solution for that too, and I'll show you that in another video. I'm behind my staff, I'm walking, here comes the threat. I've created some distance. Even if you hold it in this position, which doesn't look as menacing, with this big stick, it looks pretty menacing. But if you're holding your staff, you hey, stay back from, then you can strike them very quickly. Remember, it's just a really big stick, and you can hurt people a lot with a stick. That's not your intention. You're just using it for self-defense. The third fundamental self-defense with the walking stick or martial arts staff is that you're gonna concentrate all the energy of your body moving forward into that striking motion, because it's in your hand in that small area right there, or maybe here along the end, but that's all concentrated. All this big motion gets concentrated into the smallest point. It's almost like a knuckle punch. It's one of my favorite punches. The knuckle punch right here sticking out. You put that right in the solar plexus, puts it into a spasm. It's hard to catch your breath. Go even lower. Right here between the belly button and the private parts, there's that thin part that keeps your guts in, that thin fascia of muscle. You put that straight in and it puts them right on the ground. So those three principles are enough. Stay behind it, create some distance, and concentrate all of the energy of the strike into the smallest point possible. And now I want you to practice the basic strike. Now the first strike, you bring that into the back hand and I want you to thrust with it. When you thrust, turn the front hand over. And it doesn't matter which one of your hands is in front, but turn the front hand over. That's gonna lock that elbow, that shoulder. That's gonna give you tendon strength. That's gonna mean your body's gonna absorb the strike and you're not gonna collapse your arms. The back hand is gonna turn up. And this is also gonna lock because this is in the right natural position. Your hands are together, the front one turns down and the back one turns up. That locks the staff in that thrust, forcing it through their body. And if you hit something hard, like somebody who's chasing or running after you, or a big 70-pound dog leaping in the air, that's not gonna knock you back. It might push you a little bit, your knees will absorb it, and you're gonna knock whatever's coming at you out of the air. So you bring this up, that back hand, thrust in. This is your practice. Imagine the threat, get a good position here. Start over, get a good position, thrust. Floor, position, thrust. Position, thrust. Then practice walking with it. Take a couple steps, bring it in, thrust. Take a couple steps, bring it up, thrust. If you want to, do it on both sides. Couple steps, bring it up, thrust. Then the next strike. Starting in the same position, coming straight down. Think of this angle, hitting them on the clavicle, breaking the clavicle so they can't grab, hitting them in the temple. Maybe they're already in the motion of punching or stabbing you with something. Knock their hand out of the air. The dog is leaping at you, straight in, hard as you can. Immediate, direct, explosive. Immediate means don't hesitate. When you know you need to defend yourself, don't hesitate. Go right in. Direct means as soon as you can hit them. You don't have to do any kind of fancy spinning, kung fu kind of stuff. Just bam, smack them with it. And explosive, as hard and as fast as you can. You need speed and power. That backhand, striking down at that angle, either here in front or again, a little bit lower. If you're imagining it could be a dog. You're walking down the street, you add a couple steps, bring it in, strike. Put in the other hand, couple steps, bring it up, strike. And now the third one is kind of like a backhand punch right to the face, but it's gonna bring it across this way. And it's gonna clear whatever's there. When I say clear, all that energy that's coming from this third strike, and it's really powerful. If it hits the face, if it hits a flying dog, a rabid, mean, nasty dog, I'm not talking about a little poodle, I'm talking about that big pit bull, somebody's vicious dog who's been beaten and abused, and they're out there. Comes in, this backhand just pushes through. Think of sweeping the area. Coming through, maybe it's a person here, straight across. Defend yourself, then practice putting them together. My favorite combination is to do that thrust first, punch through, and then strike. Thrust, punch, strike. However you want to practice it doesn't really matter. But remember those basic fundamentals. First one is a no-brainer. You're doing this naturally. Second one, point your thumb. That's all you have to remember. Get a good grip. The third one, all of the force of the strike comes in here. You can only get the third one practiced when you start to practice striking, striking, the more you practice, the more your confidence is going to grow, and the more you'll feel comfortable about getting outside and getting healthy and walking around. Let me know in the comment section below what else you need to work on, and I'll see you in the next video.